to the pre-conference presidential chat, the second edition, as we prepare for the 25th annual tax conference, which we have tagged the Silver Edition. And it gives me great pleasure to have with us this afternoon the 15th president of our great institute, the man I always refer to, Chief Adeshino Adedayo, MNI FCTI, who will definitely be talking to us some of the things we need to know about the Silver Jubilee Conference. And I won't want to let the cat out of the bag. I know some of you have seen the flyers, some of you are familiar with the venue, but I don't know whether it's real. You can only hear that from our president, and that's why we have scheduled this presidential chat. Good afternoon, my president.
Good afternoon, colleagues and the moderator. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, great to have you here this afternoon, sir. And I want to start this way, that the man seated here is so fortunate that just years back we celebrated the 40th anniversary of our great institute, and coincidentally we are celebrating another Silver Jubilee. What a great man we are at the helm of our affair at this time. But before I go straight, let me just state here that, my president, we want our professional colleagues to have understanding of what this conference is all about.
Thank you very much once again. I want to also appreciate my professional colleagues for sparing time to be here with me this afternoon, even though it's virtual. Now let me start with the fact that the theme of the conference itself sets the tone for what the conference is all about. You will realize that by the time you look at that theme, it is Nigeria of the future. Nigeria of the future. We are not just talking about the Nigeria of today, we are talking about the Nigeria of tomorrow. And then what do we want to see by tomorrow? We want to achieve sustainable growth using taxation as a tool to get our achievement done. So why this is so unique is that we just had an election and we are going to be talking about the direction of the government in the next 4 years. And for us to be able to really understand where we are or where we are coming from and where we are heading to, this has to do with the fact that we should understand the debt burden of the country, we should understand the impact tax we play in that particular scenario. And that is how we came up with this theme, which is meant to appeal to what we have, irrespective of whether you're in the private or public sector. We want a situation where we understand the role of taxation when it comes to sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my president, and that is a brilliant way to set the ball rolling at this presidential executive briefing this afternoon. You've heard it, my professional colleagues, and we're talking about the theme, Nigeria of the future, achieving sustainable development through taxation. My president, my professional colleagues, we want to know what and where are we having this Silver Jubilee? Where exactly are we having this Silver Jubilee conference?
Yes, now we are talking about Nigeria of the future. There is no better place to have it as at today than to actually take it straight to the seat of power. We are having it in Abuja, and we are having it at Shida Event Center, plot 224 Solomon Lawe, Utako District, Abuja. The essence of all this is to make sure that our voice is heard. You don't wink in the dark, as I keep saying. By the time you are talking about something that has to do with Nigeria, the policy makers need to be present, decision makers need to be there, and we also need to carry the international players along. So all these were taken into consideration in talking about who are the people we are expecting and how do we ensure that this makes the maximum impact by the time we are through with it. We are talking about 25th anniversary of our conferences, and we need to make it clear. CITN has come to stay. CITN is right there, and CITN is at the center of the arts development.
That is a brilliant way, my president, and I can say for free, we don't have to be at any other location at this time, rather than the center of power, which is Abuja. I'm sure you are just joining and you missed that slot. the venue for this 25th annual tax conference is no other place. Let me reiterate it, like my president said. Chida Event Center, plot 224, Solomon La Way, will tackle district live in Abuja. My president, we've had series of conferences, and like we said, this is the 25th edition, which we tagged the silver edition. What is new with this conference, the 25th edition? Let our professional colleagues and our viewers learn from this.
Yeah, the beauty of this year's conference is the fact that there are so many things lined up. And my interaction with the chairperson of the conference, in the person of Mrs. Ruth Arokoyo, I think I needed to actually acknowledge her. Ourselves and our team are doing wonderfully well. I noticed even in the course of engagement with them, they have sleepless nights both within and even off the secretariat venue. And I can tell you as of today, up till now, they are still going through various subcommittees and trying to dot the I's and cross the T's. Now, this particular conference has so many innovations involved in it. There are so many things we are used to. When you have done something for 24 years and you are heading towards the 25th, you take some things for granted. But the beauty of this year's conference is that the committee is coming up with so many innovations that makes the previous conferences look like child's play compared to what they are planning for us. And I can start with even something that you are already familiar with. Something as simple as what is come up in terms of even Society of Women International that have made a giant stride. They will have their own as more or less like a preliminary activity. Then you have the hospitality night that we're always used to. When you arrive at the hospitality night, you condition your mind on what to expect. But I can tell you that this time around, the committee is coming up with some innovation even at the level of hospitality night that is different from what we are used to before. Now, if you now proceed further, and you are talking about issues of members' engagement, as much as possible, we have realized that it is only when you want to walk fast, you walk alone. But when you want to really go far, you move with others. We are mindful of the suggestion of our members. Some of us may not necessarily be actively involved in terms of one committee or the other, but your suggestions will make sense by the time we are engaging with our members at the level of even hospitality night. DC societies always have their parade at this hospitality night, and I can tell you this time around, this year, all the DC society, more than 80% of the DC society will have one thing or the other to showcase in order to make it clear that the issue of taxation is a broad theme. And I can assure you, my deputy vice president, who is equally the chairman of the DC society, is on top of this by ensuring that all the DC societies come up with something unique for us to appreciate what differentiates district from one area and the other area. You see the uniqueness of the culture reflecting in what they are parading. Maybe I stop there for now in case the moderator has one or two things to say. I will still explain further as we go along on other issues we are going to enjoy.
Sincerely speaking, if you have not registered for this conference with what my president is actually dishing out, you will be missing a lot if you are not there in Abuja. You know, when you talk about the hospitality night, you see different culture coming out to showcase what it's all about. And you know, it's in taxation that will speak the language that everybody quite understand. Knowing fully well some of these programs being put together. My president, I want us to identify some new innovation that this committee headed by Mrs. Ruth Arokoyo that they have put together, something that will differentiate this conference, being the Silver Jubilee from what we've been having. The new highlights, I'm sure our people are eager to hear them.
Thank you very much. Let me start with something that we have taken for granted, something as simple as sports. In previous years, we've taken that, okay, some people will engage in this sport, but this time around, even if you don't know anything to do, just join the jogging session. You keep fit, I can assure you. And the beauty of it again is that one, at the level of the sports subcommittee, which we are going to be talking about, they've come up with so many innovations, and from what I can see here, they are talking about the issue of the barbecue, the grills and barbecue aspect. They are talking about so many innovations relating to even tug of war, head and spoon race. So many of these things that were not even there before have been introduced. And I can tell you, this subcommittee that is meant to address the sport part, they are coming up with so many unique things that when I ask myself, I hope I'm not going to be looking like an old man in the midst of young people when I see the level of energy that they are putting into this. So it is very important to come and have fun, because taxation is not just about, it is a question of a balance of the mind, including your intellect. So when you even have a situation where you have this fun, there is a way it extends long life. I can tell you, getting engaged in sports makes you fit, and by the time you now start the technical session, you will see that you will not be dozing when they are talking about the presentation. That is on the sports side. I don't know whether the moderator wants me to continue, because I have so many of them. I can talk from now till almost tomorrow relating to the aspect of sports.
Sincerely speaking, my president, if I give the floor to you, I won't want you to let the cat out of the bag so that people can come in. But at least they have heard about tug of war, talked about egg and the spoon, the catching the train. These are fun activities. You see, one thing that is making this Silver Jubilee Conference unique is there are new innovations. It's not just going to be technical session, where we'll come, learn. Those people, our elders, they always refer to it to say, all work and no play, make that a dull boy. So come with your kit. You've heard from the president. Don't just come with suit alone. You must make sure that you prepare for the sporting activity. My president, I would like to ask, I've been hearing it here and there talking about a raffle draw. Is it real that there will be raffle draw during the gala night?
Yes, it is real. Not only is it real, I can tell you that even at the various subcommittee level, and this particular subcommittee is on the hospitality night and even the gala night, and the latest interaction I have with them shows that not only are they even positioning issue of sponsorship for some unique activities, they are getting the fund to back this up. I can assure you that I'm also going to keep my ticket effectively so that I can win something. I want you to also do the same. We are used to gala night where all we do is just maybe dance and some one or two things. But this time around, you are going to dance, you are going to have fun, you are going to also win some things. I just pray that you will have excess luggage by the time you win some of those things that we have on the raffle draw aspect. So as much as possible, this is going to be a gala night where you will have fun, you will laugh. It will look like a night of even a million laughs. So you have fun, you will laugh, you enjoy yourself. Then by the time you do all these things, you now realize that tax is not a boring profession. As much as possible, a tax professional is the heart and hope of this nation. Please come forward for this and enjoy yourself. It's the 25th anniversary. It only comes once. After this, we are heading toward 26th. I can assure you by the grace of God. But please, be part of this 25th. If you have not attended the 1st to 24, this is time for you to be part of the 25th, and you are about to make history.
Thank you very much, my president. And for those that are asking the question, like I can feel online, raffle draw, is it for free? No, the raffle draw is not free. I learned that the ticket is already rolling now. Just get your 2,000. You can buy a pack of 50. That's 100,000. Those are few money you use in enjoying life. Maybe by the time you buy 50 or 100 raffle draw, you just ask them to put it on Excel. When they are calling the number, you'll be doing control fine. And like the president said, just make sure you have enough money for SS luggage. By the time you win all the goodies that is there. You have heard about the relaxation that you definitely enjoy. It's not just going to be technical session. But my president, sir, I want you to, you mentioned it at the initial stage when you were talking. I want you to lay emphasis on the uniqueness of this team. I think it's very fundamental for our members to know the uniqueness of this, which is our Silver Jubilee Conference.
Yes, the uniqueness of the team again, I think I took some time there, but I can keep talking on this. And because one, I went through even the renewed hope of the president-elect, and taxation is occupying a critical position in this. I've gone to the issue of sustainable development goals, and we are talking about sustainable development using taxation. This is an opportunity for us to see how well, even as a country, we align effectively with this issue of sustainability. UNDP is equally partnering with us on this in order to make it clear that we are not just reading about sustainable development, we are made to feel it, to experience it, and to know what can happen if taxation is used as the backbone of this country. And that's where you will see that the fact that talking about taxation is not just an abstract thing. You see the impact of taxation in so many ways than one, and so it is very important. We are partnering with UNDP on this, and they will be properly represented even at the conference, including being a keynote speaker as one of those things. That is one. Then secondly, we have so many sub-teams that was shown in the flyer sent to you. You will see that the main team is actually Nigeria of the future, achieving sustainable development using taxation, through taxation effectively. Then you have the various sub-teams, and you can easily be part of this. And we have facilitators who are not just experienced, but well experienced in this topic. They are not going to talk about things you are not familiar with, but they are going to talk about what you are familiar with in a different version. From the perspective you were never looking at it, you are going to have knowledge built into you. And like I keep saying, whenever you have knowledge, it gives you an edge. It means that what you know is providing you an edge. And you cannot operate in the knowledge economy if you are ignorant. And that is why as tax professionals, we need to also be careful and be mindful and be deliberate about our knowledge base. Because without that, we will only be talking empty, and we do not want to be that type of professional. So that is maybe by way of the immediate assertion of that. And I can assure you, in terms of the various areas that borders on the various paper presentations, we have them all lined up, and I will maybe refer to it when the moderator asks me to, when I get there. But all these are people who are high professionals, both within and outside of the country. And they are people who can talk to the topic effortlessly, because it is what they do almost on a daily basis. So we have been able to bring all these people together because that is their area of specialization. And when they talk to us, we will know that it is something that we came with limited knowledge, but we are going to lead this particular conference with expanded knowledge, including a world vision that goes beyond our even locality. These are all things we want to be able to achieve by the time we finish this conference. This is supposed to be a conference like no other, and we will surely make it so by the grace of God.
Thank you very much, my president. I'm sure I can hear the buzzing on the chat telling us that, President, we are giving you the assurance we will be live in Abuja to celebrate it. But as a follow-up question on the topic, the theme for the conference, so I would want you to give us the whole, so that people will not come and see the whole thing. Can you give us maybe one or two of the paper presenters that will definitely be featuring at Abuja come May?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start with the first paper presenter, and that will be Mr. Mohammed Yahya, who is currently the country resident representative, United Nations Development Program, Nigeria. He will be giving us an in-depth insight into the theme of the conference. And you know, no matter what, one of the things I keep saying is that if you want your own living room to be better, check out the living room of somebody who is already making substantial progress. And when we get this type of knowledge, we can now be able to close the gap. What are we doing? What is expected of us? These are areas where tax professionals are meant to be talking. We are tax professionals because we have a knowledge that is unique, that is distinct, that is peculiar, and that is something that makes us stand in a different field entirely when it comes to other professionals. And I keep saying it and I'm emphasizing it, please note this. Taxation is the hope of the nation. And when we have presenters like this talking to us, we can easily see where is the gap between what we are doing and what we are expected to do. It is very important. Then another paper presentation, which is the second, is by Ian Gary, who is the Executive Director, Financial Accountability and Corporate Transparency Coalition and Fund for Constitutional Government. He will be speaking on global progress towards public country-by-country reporting and tax transparency requirements by multinational corporations. That's another thing we need to see. We are talking about foreign direct investment, we are talking about so many things. Are we putting the house in order? All these are areas where we need to actually get somebody's perspective, somebody who can tell us the truth about what we are doing and the areas we need to close the gap. You see, truth itself is maybe considered bitter, But at the end of the day, by the time you hear it, you can easily go back home and ask yourself, what do we need to do? Because the outcome of this conference is not something that we just listen to and give a round of applause. By the time we are through with this issue, we must really sit down and ask ourselves, where are the areas we need to develop as a country, which is to be led by tax professionals. I can tell you, tax professionals constitute the hope of this nation.
That is brilliant, my president. I can tell you, anytime you are with my president, you must have the full details of what it looks like. The president, I read through the publicity committee that there will be national quiz, tax quiz competition. Is it the publicity that is just creating this awareness, or is something that we should prepare for them?
Yes, we should prepare, because you see, one of the innovations we have been able to do, not even just innovation, we followed it up with a policy backbone, and we have been able to ensure that we give the relevant support to make this happen, is the Association of Nigerian Tax Students. And this is something that we, in the course of time, we spent almost a year. They will have their election at the conference, that's number one. And then we are going to be talking about the issue of tax quiz, which is handled by the Chairperson Student Affairs, Dr. Titilayo Fowoko. All these are areas where you now see that you cannot rest on yesterday's knowledge. We have youth. I can assure you, even at the level of secondary school alone, you see some young people who are displaying the knowledge that some of us will ask ourselves, do we have this type of knowledge when we were their age? Now you are seeing them again at tertiary level. They are going to come and you see the type of questions they will answer. You will be encouraged, because it is clear that if, as the people who are now on the other side of this age, and we are seeing youths who are dynamic, who are passionate, who are eager to become our future as tax professionals, these are things that you cannot afford to leave. I want to tell you that in previous years, you see that the hall is almost as full as when you are even having technical session. By the time you see the type of way these boys and girls respond to questions, these are things you cannot afford to miss. It's surely going to come up during this conference.
Sincerely speaking, as an institute, this is something we don't take lightly. When you build for the future, as the team states, and you are not carrying the younger ones along, definitely your vision will just fizzle out. And I want to sincerely appreciate the president and the governing council of our institute for the doggedness and the support that you are providing for the younger generation. So for those of you that will not be there, make sure that you try as much as possible. I saw someone asking, President, what palliative will you give to you? The palliative the president will give to you is that as soon as you get there, you are guaranteed of a presidential handshake, of which you can reserve the hand for the next 3 weeks without eating with it. And when you get back to your base, just shake your wife with it, you see the blessing flowing. And I can assure you that, because Oracle is blessed, and anything he touch is always blessed. My president, I want to ask this question. You've given us some of the key speakers at the program. Do we have discussants, and possibly give us a few of these discussants and chairman of sessions, so that our people will know that aside the fun part, the technical session is also loaded?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me just mention just one out of the chairman of sessions, and I will mention Chief Emmanuel Itoya Ijewere. Chief Emmanuel Itoya Ijewere is the first vice president of the institute. He is a past president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. He is one of those who actually was involved in the formation of this institute. So you will realize that when he shared the session, for those of you who know Chief Emmanuel Ijewere very well, you will not only get knowledge in the course of his sharing. It looks as if it's such a simple task, but you will notice the dynamism with which he will share his session, and that is one thing you can go with. I will keep quiet on the second person for now. Now, talking about the various discussants, one of the discussants is Alhaji Aziz Alatoye, the managing partner of Ascension Consulting Services, purely meant for tax. Anywhere you see Alhaji Aziz Alatoye talking, you will see is an embodiment of knowledge, and is one of those discussants. He is broad. He has done nothing but taxation. His reputation is in taxation. So when he's not talking about any issue that borders on that discussant, he has both practical knowledge of this, is a practitioner again to complement this, and is one of those who have the indigenous tax practice that is thriving. And I can tell you from even personal knowledge of who he is broad-based in terms of knowledge. You will benefit from that. Another person is Mr. Adewale Ajayi. He's a partner, head of tax, regulatory and people services of KPMG Nigeria. I don't think I need to ask anybody to Google to ask the question, what is KPMG or who is KPMG? These are all things you're already familiar with. But we are talking about Mr. Adewale Ajayi, a dynamic person too. By the time you engage with these people, we are talking technical session now, and we need people who are technically loaded to actually brief us and let us know and make this clear. You see, you learn from cradle to grave. What you know yesterday may not be applicable today, and what you think you know today that makes you an expert may not be relevant tomorrow. So you need to also be getting this knowledge renewed on a regular and consistent basis. And we just want to start so that I don't let all the cats out of the bag. We are equally gender friendly. Mrs. Tony Bashir, head of legislative and judicial interventions, Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, is equally talking to us. And you will get the benefit of the beauty of the word that comes from our mouth. These are all things you should be looking forward to. It's a dynamic time.
One thing I can always say about our institute is the gender sensitivity. And you've heard from the president that it's not going to be masculine. The software are very much available to come from the other perspective as a professional and give their basis to. And you've heard it, Chief Emmanuel Ijewere, an erudite, veteran tax man. He will be there as chairman of session. The other one, the president is keeping for you as chairman of session. I'm sure you want to be in Abuja to witness it. He's a powerful man. He's going to cross several borders to get to that particular place. And I will not want to let the cat out of the bag so that president will not find me for it. President, we are going to have two panel sessions, which is going to be interactive. Can you give us maybe one or two of the panelists, at least to prepare our members towards the conference?
Thank you very much. Like I said earlier, CITN is one big family. And by the time some names are mentioned, you will realize that at one point in time or the other, you have all cross paths or you have met one way or the other. One of those who is coming as a panelist is Mr. Antonio Olaleye, Executive Chairman of the State Internal Revenue Service. His background was from aspect of accounting firm. We were together in Deloitte in those days. So you can see that these are all people that you now see that they are there now. They are on the other side from private to public. He has seen it from the private perspective. He's equally seen it from the public perspective. You want to get the benefit of his experience. Another person that is coming again is Mr. Olumide Eson, who is one of the panelists. He's a partner, tax and regulatory services, Deloitte and Touche. So by the time you hear from him, you want to know what is happening with the people that constitute their clients, what are the areas they feel we can even get some of this knowledge and be able to close some gaps and be able to share experience with us. All these are areas we can engage them. If there are issues we have concerns about, these are ways we get to know what is happening. And by the time the panelists are now talking about this, we know what is actually going to take place. These are part of the issues we should be looking at.
And that is just it. You've heard it from the oracles, man. That is our 15th president, Chief Additional Adida, FCTI. The assurance is there that you will definitely get value for your presence at Abuja during the Silver Jubilee edition. And for those that are yet to do it, if you're on the call, you can go to the chat room. I can see the head of the publicity committee already dishing it out. You already have the link. https at CITN-event.org. Possibly you need letter of sponsorship. You can definitely click on that, and within 24 hours, the institute will definitely revert back to you. We're already counting dates, and if you still need that sponsorship from your organization, click on that link. We'll definitely get back to you within 24 hours to make sure that your organization sponsor you to the Silver Jubilee Tax Conference. President, some people are asking, and I just want us to possibly pardon them, maybe they've not seen the flyer. they are asking, what is the rate? What are the classes of people we are expecting? Is it going to be purely physical, or we have the virtual participant? What are the category of people that are expected, and what are the rates attributable to this?
Yeah, it's actually hybrid. We have physical and we have virtual. But if you ask me, honestly, I would love to see a lot of people physically. And one of the reasons why I say that is the fact that, one, if you look at our physical engagement time, is very limited. Most of us, from one social media to the other, we are glued to our TV, we are glued to our laptop, we are glued to our phone. So, but this will be an opportunity for us to actually have an exchange, enjoy yourself, have fun. And that is what we need to actually be looking at for. So, if you ask me honestly, what I would love to see is a lot of physical participation. But be that as it may, there could be logistic challenge. People may be having some other things to do outside of the country or outside of even Abuja and some other areas, and they may not be able to participate physically. They should be able to participate virtually. Now, what is the fundamental difference between the two? For members, physical participation is about 130,000. Non-members, we are talking about 135. Just a difference of 5,000 for those who are not having a CTI or FCTI. And these are all areas. Student members were equally factored into this planning. For physical participation, they can pay 65. We recognize the fact that what those we call senior citizens needs to be celebrated, not vilified. So because of that, we have equally recognized the fact that we should reduce that for aged members, those who consider senior citizens, and that will be 65,000. For those who are foreign participants or delegates, we have fixed that for $500. So please, that is for physical participation. Not now on the virtual side, for those who are one way or the other who cannot make it either by virtue of one thing or the other, we have been able to make that also affordable. For members, they can pay 60,000 for virtual participation, and for non-members, 65,000. For student members, 30,000. Aged members, 30,000. And foreign delegates, $250. That is the terms of that activity. But like I said earlier at the beginning, I would love to see a lot of you physically. And I want to be able to at least tell you thank you for being part of this administration. Let me see you physically. That's the only way we can have a handshake and you can be able to take selfie with it. I have not discovered the secret of how to do a handshake virtually. So maybe that is why I'm challenged in terms of that virtual handshake. Let us sit together and then I'll give you my handshake and thank you for always being there for us.
Just like I mentioned, my president, to them, that you'll be having a parting gift from our 15th president. Just be live at Abuja, that Jida Hotel, from May 8th to 12th, when we'll be gathering for this conference. Before I give room for people that want to ask maybe one or two questions on the chat room, let me reiterate this, that the program will be better if you are there live and direct. It's an avenue for you to network. I remember those days, people asked, so why do you go for all these conferences? A few years back, I attended one. The man seated next to me was the chief of staff to a particular governor. And we exchanged card and thereabout. I won't want to tell you the story why you suddenly saw Olusegun Obasanjo, getting bigger and bigger. Because at the conference, I was able to network with the right people. And the only place you can get that is at the 25th Silver Jubilee edition of the tax conference. You might be shocked. Please, if you have not printed your call card and need your business card, go and meet the printer. Make sure that you do that when you get to Abuja, so that you exchange number. You can never say, aside receiving the handshake of the president, which you can keep for the next 3 weeks without shaking anybody except your wife, so that you can keep the blessing. You can also exchange your complimentary card and be rest assured that businesses will grow. While I will welcome one or two questions from the chat room, my president, I want you to once again give a kind of assurance to our members. For real, if you look at what is buzzing on the chart, it's going to be a bomb at Chida I'm sure the venue can take up to 5,000. Because what I'm seeing here is that everybody on this call, which is over 500, is saying, President, have our assurance, we'll be there. And you know, you'll be doing us a favor. Don't be there alone. You can always come with your wife. It's another opportunity for you to have a relaxation and come and be part of it. You have heard from the President. It's meant for members and non-members. I'm sure. So when you are there, your wife is learning some of the things that you are doing in taxation. I who says that she cannot be your next tax manager as you proceed. But before I welcome the question, my President, I want another reassurance words to our members that will be coming live to Abuja for this 25th annual tax conference.
Yes, let me give this assurance, because apart from the fact that we have our logistics and security in place, we are equally mindful of the fact that this is about crowd management, is about ensuring that the registration process is seamless. All these are things we have learned from our past encounters at the conference, and we have decided to come up with a proactive way of managing a lot of these issues. Then in addition to that, we equally ensure that the local organizing committee, in addition to the support from the secretariat, we have more than enough people to respond to you and to ensure that you are well taken care of. Now, from the aspect that borders on the various hotels that is close to it, when you look at the location of the Shida Center, you have hotels that surround that. We've equally negotiated with all of them, and all these are being done to ensure you have affordable hotel, number one, you are not far from the venue, number two, and you are equally part of every program. And in Abuja, the issue of traffic congestion is very minimal, if virtually non-existent in all these places. So you can be sure, where you live, in less than 5-10 minutes, wherever you are already at the center. So all these are assurances I can give to you, in addition to the fact that the security part is taken care of, and I still believe that ultimately, God will equally be the ultimate security person for us. But having said all this, you can be sure that this is going to be an event you will not want to miss.
Thank you very much, my President. But for people that are asking questions, you see, we've had this chat, and I know some of you might want to make inquiry. For those that want to make inquiry, you can always contact Monday on this phone number. I'm sure you picked your pen or you are typing it on your phone. Contact Monday is one of the people that are available to guide you on things that you need to know about this conference, and it's available on 0818 720 8146. Should I pick that again? For those that want to reach Monday for any inquiry, 0818 720 8140. And you might have friends in the Francophone country. We made provision for this participant to at this conference because it is an international conference. And you can always reach Afolabi on 0705 4171 589. I take that again, 0705 417 1589. And somebody is asking, how many credit hours do we have for this? You cannot just imagine it. And I have the answer. I don't know if my president will want to share that, but I should let the cat out of the bag. I think I'm seeing something like 24 credit hours. Is it real, my president?
Yes, I believe it's real. And you know why it is that real? Is the fact that this is a total development conference. You are going to talk about the aspect of keeping fit. You are going to have knowledge that is broad-based. You are going to even engage in networking. So if you are asking, the fact remains that it should give you the maximum credit hour. And I can tell you at the conference is where you get your maximum credit point. The fact of the matter is that by the time you finish a conference of 4 or 5 days now, from even your arrival at the hospitality night, your credit point is already accumulating. Because even at that hospitality night, you are meeting people, you are realizing what is happening. You are based in Lagos, for example, and you see somebody who is based in the Kaduna District Society, and you are already talking. You get to see, it gives you a broad base. You have the people that are even international participants and international speakers or facilitators. By the time you have that all brought together, you have the maximum credit point. So it is worth your while to be there. I still hope to see you.
Yeah, we are expecting you all at Abuja. Come Monday, May 8th to Friday, May 12th. We will be starting on Monday, 8th of the month of May, and that will be with the registration. And we'll be closing it with the gala night on Thursday, May 11th, and concluding departure on the 12th. But for those of you who are like the compare, who always like to stay back, it's another avenue for you to relax in Abuja, provided you are there with your madam. At least you can do another refreshing course. The result of it I will not be able to announce here. Let me also state here that we await those organizations for exhibition. You can definitely promote your goods and services there at the conference. So we encourage you to contact Monday or you contact Jonathan. Definitely they are available for you to give you the guidance that is needed. It's been a wonderful time engaging my president on this pre-conference presidential briefing. I can tell you, okay, somebody is asking, is there provision for members to attend with their spouse and how much for such registration? Oh, Madam Chida, maybe you are just joining us. You can come with your spouse. That is another level of renewing your love with Oga. When you come, you will pay 130 for physical presence, and Oga will pay 135. I'm sure by the time Oga see all the enjoyment that is entrenched, I'm sure the next thing is how you will try to be a member of CITN by the goodies that we're doing. So the program, the conference is meant for both members and non-members, and we expect you to be there live and direct. Your materials, I can tell you, one thing you can give to us in CITN is there is never a shortfall of conference material. I won't want to tell you the details of what is there, but those that knows the package that CITN, maybe I will advise you that you don't bother to carry too much of a bag, because the bag when you are going back, it might be that you have to be paying excess luggage, and with some of the things that you are going to win during the raffle draw. Let me emphasize that you need to get your raffle ticket. Like I said, if you get 50, that's one pack. I can tell you, just come and see me. I will assist you in computing the numbers. All you need to do is you'll be doing control fine. When you win all the gifts, remember that you take care of your person that has assisted you in the computation. On the final note, because I can see, okay, people are asking, oh, are there materials for virtual participants? I think there are no materials. I'm sure there are no materials for the virtual.
No, there are no materials.
When you look at the cost and you'll be asking for too much, don't put the institute at the deficit.
And that is why I want to see you physically.
Yes, now it is the material. Wherever I go, you know that bag. I always display it CITN. Everybody knows that I'm a tax practitioner anywhere. Even when I'm traveling out of the country, I don't use any other bag. It must be CITN. If it's not my hand luggage, it must be my main bag. So come there and be guaranteed of those materials that is needed for the conference. On a parting shot, okay, somebody is asking for me to call again the member of Monday and Afolabi. Don't worry, I'll definitely get that to you. Because Monday on his own is already checking his phone to make sure that you have him contacted for the inquiries that you need to make. For Monday, you can always reach him on 0818 720 8140. I will call it again. Monday, 0818 720 8140. I'm sure if you call him right away, he will provide the support that is needed for you. And to reach Jonathan, also, for any inquiry, you can reach him on 0706 906 4366. I take that again. 0706 906 4361. And for our francophone friends that want to be part of this program, you can always reach Afolabi on 0705 417 1589. I take that again. 0705 417 1589. These are people that are already awaiting your call. If you have any thing you need to make inquiry of regarding sponsorship letter, regarding exhibition, just call them. They are at a stone throw. They will respond to you. Finally, my president, what will be your parting shot for this pre-conference presidential brief to our members?
Yes, my parting shot is straightforward. It is in the assembly of people that you now start to understand the impact of why humanity makes the difference. Every other intelligence you see out there can only be artificial intelligence. The natural intelligence resides with man. Relationship resides with man and woman. Sorry for that listing. But the most important thing is the fact that this type of engagement sharpens us, it strengthens us, it bonds us together. And that is why I'm expecting a lot of us to be at this conference. And another thing I need to mention, apart from this again, I said it earlier, we should not wink in the dark. If you have an organization that people should know about, please talk about exhibition, talk about advert in this. Because when people now take the brochure, they will now be seeing your organization and say, oh, this organization exists. Don't exist in isolation. Don't wink in the dark. Make it known to the world that this organization is existing. Put your advert in that brochure. Then finally, also again, we should be talking about issues that border on sponsorship. If you have what it takes to make it even more exciting than the way I've described it, we won't mind having you sponsor one or two things relating to the sponsorship package. And we will celebrate you. And all these are part of the thing that makes us who we are. It is this collective that changes the narrative of why tax professionals constitute the whole population. I hope to see you there. And as much as possible physically, but if not physically, please join me virtually. And I think I respect you right there. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Thank you very much, our 15th President, Chief Additional Adidayo, MNI FCTI, for actually availing us your time this afternoon during this pre-conference presidential brief. I'm sure our members have gained a lot, like I keep saying, and President emphasizes it always. You cannot wink in the dark. What is that product of yours that you are? Bring it to Abuja for exhibition. As a token, definitely you will get patronage for it. And also, for those of you who need sponsorship later, let's write your organization to sponsor you for this kind of conference. And I'm sure there will be value addition. But before I go, let me especially also recognize our Deputy Vice President who has been with us in the studio, Mr. Innocent Oagwa. Thank you for providing the support to our President today on this presidential chat. I will not leave you without telling you that I want to see you in Abuja. I've actually, as I speak, I've booked my flight, I've made my registration, I've even settled the issue of accommodation. The only thing is I'm only counting the peak on the 8th. I'll leave Lagos, and all road leads to Chida Hotel Event Center, plot 224, Solomon Lawe, Utabo, come May 8th to Friday, May 12th. And we all want to meet you and see you there. I remain your anchor of this presidential chat today, Olusegun Okwale. Till we see again in Abuja, take care and make sure that you carry out your registration. We'll be definitely available to provide all the necessary support. Bye for now.
God bless you.